The way you pronounce the name really doesn't matter, but we will get to that later. So my name is Dimitri Canaris, and I'm one of 4 founding members of Ildsjel Collective, and just one of the many collaborators that works in the space to create something that we think is kind of cool. We do all sorts of things, and like I said, well, the name is something that we'll get to a little bit later, but really where it began for me personally, and for one of our other founding members is here in 2011, we organized our first community event, which was an open mic night at a coffee shop on UBC campus. And when we got to UBC, we were really just looking for a space to jam. We played music, we liked sharing music with people, and we didn't really see that community there. So we worked with a club called Blank Vinyl Project, which was founded by a really good friend of mine, and they did something similar to what we were looking to do. They operated as a student-run record label. But what we really wanted to do was form that community, because our ultimate goal was to get musicians from their dorm room to stages like that, which we did. That's one of the artists that we worked with in our time at UBC and with Blank Vinyl Project. And the only way that was possible is through collaboration, through forming a community of not just musicians, but also producers and photographers and videographers and people to do marketing, because that's the only way that those people can get there. So that was my student life, kind of a dream world. No one needs to be paid for anything. And then I graduated with marketing, and I started working with a marketing agency, really excited by the idea of being surrounded by creative professionals. But one of the things with agency that I wasn't really happy with in the community that I chose was it didn't seem like those creative professionals were pursuing passions. They were doing work because it paid them good money, and that's a totally reasonable thing to do, but I was really looking for a community where people would be exploring their own passions and really, the things that they were interested in, diving deeper into that. So I did what we do and organized some more community events. Missed that slide. And we did a couple around the city, Gladstone Hotel, 3030, Rainhard, and we started to form this community of creatives, musicians, people with all sorts of skill sets, and we realized we wanted to create a home for those people, somewhere where not only can they, work on that commercial agency work that pays them really great money, but also at the end of the day have a space to do whatever they want to do, whatever projects they want to get involved in, just anything that interests them and they think their skill sets apply to. So this was our blank canvas. It's a space in the Portlands. It's what we call Ildsjel Collective, and we came in. We were a very small group of us. Rebecca is here today, one of the other co-founders, my brother, Peter, and 2 guys that actually worked at the agency with us. And so we had our small community, we had a space. It was December 2016, and we went to work on our own blank canvas, trying to make a space that creatives could come into and have all the resources necessary to them to pursue whatever their passions were. So by the time May came around, we were kind of done, but BlogTO came in and did an article on us anyways. And so we were like, okay, we have a space, and we've launched it into Toronto, so now really our goal was we wanted other people to feel like this was their blank canvas. So we had that opportunity, now we wanted to give it to other people, and by the time the article went out, we had all sorts of people coming in, literally making it their blank canvas, whether it be, turning the space into a piece of artwork, or, even more than that, transforming the resources of the space to be resources that people in the community needed. Things like Makerspace. Not as big as impressive as this one, but this is our makerspace, and we do everything from 3D printing to CNC machinery, electronics. My brother is the engineer that runs this space, and he's really great at connecting this space to other arts and culture projects, whether it be making lights for a film shoot or prop design or whatever it is. And then the studio came next, which was a big thing, especially for one of our members, Ross, who, when he was working at the agency with us, really could work on voiceover and audio post-production, but not really spend much time with bands or musicians, which is what he really wanted to do. So we built out the studio aspect of our space so we can do that. And then all of a sudden, you have it come together in the heart of our space, which is the event space, and you have musicians going from studio to stage, getting to connect with their audience and perform in a space that is their home, a space that they create their art in and perform their art in, which was something that was really important to us. And then that same space, like I said, being the heart of our collaborative beast, becomes a shoot location. This was the Canadian Film Centre working on shoots with one of our members, Blackout Media. And so really, the connection of everything is we're trying to get people with different skill sets. There's a lot of spaces that focus on the same skill set, but we want people that come from different aspects of the industry to culminate into projects like this where you have, musicians, you have film, you have art, and you're connecting the two. You're celebrating, in this case, storytelling, but through all these different mediums, through all the different resources that we've tried to offer with our space. And so, bringing back, this is more recent, and we hadn't done a vendor market like we used to do when we built our community. So we went back to doing that concept, and this was something where we really got to connect with the community that we were in. A lot of these people were, focused in the East End or brought a different element to the space. And this is now where we're set up for the Toronto Design Offsite Festival, and this is the first time our space has been used as an exhibit. It's been used as a theater location, film screening, concerts, shoot locations, but never as an art exhibit. And so really what we tried to do was create that blank canvas, create the transformable space with a community of people. So it's not 45 like Gorilla, but it's small, and we hit on different aspects of the industry, and we're using a resource-oriented space that has built itself with the community of people that have come on board with us, identifying the different skills, the different things that they need, and trying to make that available for everyone. And so finally, the name Ildsjel, the reason why we chose it, Rebecca is Norwegian, but that's not necessarily why. We liked a word that was that blank canvas effect. You see it, and you're going to pronounce it wrong. You're going to try to guess how to spell it, how to say it, but you don't have any preconceived ideas when you look at it. You see it, and you're going to think all the things that you're going to think, but ultimately coming into the space and defining what Ildsjel might mean for you is part of it. And if you really want to know the actual meaning, it is a conceptual identifier for people who are driven by passion, community-oriented, and inherently creative. So that is why we chose it, but also really important to us is that blank canvas aspect, because that's what our space is for the community of people who have joined it. Thanks so much, guys.